Have you ever noticed a man who never complains, who quietly carries it all, never asking for help, because that's just how he learned since childhood? There are men like that. They seem stronger than steel, unbreakable, but beneath that toughness is the silence of burnout. In today's world, a strong man never shows weakness, but inside, emptiness grows. He wakes up, not remembering why he gets up at all. Routine becomes a closed loop, and it feels like there's no way out. They say a real man handles everything, never reveals his weakness, not even to those closest to him. That's the biggest myth. Burnout isn't for the weak. It hits hardest those who hold on the longest. At first, you just take on a few more tasks, stay up a bit later, say yes to others, and later to yourself. You do it because it's easier than admitting your own boundaries are already gone. Suddenly you realize the joy of achievement has been replaced by endless fatigue. Normal things seem impossible. You think it's just your mindset, but that fire inside is almost out. For the most part, you keep up appearances, trying to be a role model. You reply to messages, meet deadlines, keep the conversation going, even when inside you feel nothing. At what point did you become a machine instead of a person? Everyone expects you to be calm, collected. Only you know the cost. Tight shoulders, sleepless nights, pacing from the computer to the window and back again. You try to find inspiration, set new goals, search for meaning. But more and more, no video or book brings back real motivation. Something deep inside has simply shut off. Once you could encourage anyone, but now you don't even have words for yourself. You're alone in your room, silent, not because there's nothing to say, but because you're too tired to explain it, even to yourself. Society wants men not to complain. The price of that silence is inner emptiness, gradually filling everything: body, thoughts, even the memory of who you used to be. Psychologists talk about balance. But what if you can't find it? If every attempt to take a break just makes you feel more guilty for not doing enough? At some point, you lose connection with yourself. Old hobbies are forgotten, meetings with friends get postponed, and the joy of small purchases lasts seconds, as if everything inside has turned grayscale. You learn to keep the mask of confidence. Even if there's a hole inside, at work, with your family, with friends, you're still an anchor. No one needs to know that you're nearly burnt out. Sometimes it seems like breaking down is a weakness, a sign of failure, but those who allow themselves to admit they're spent actually find the way out. The main thing is to stop pretending nothing is wrong. You sit at night and it feels like the exhaustion isn't just physical, like every ounce of strength is spent maintaining an image you can't let crack. Thinking back to yourself at 15, you wonder. Once your enthusiasm was boundless, you dreamed big, made plans. Where did all that energy go? With age comes a real fear. If you show your weariness, everything you built will collapse. That's why men choose silence, loneliness, as armor, not comfort. You remember when you could just head to the lake, see your friends, enjoy the smallest things. Now, spontaneity brings anxiety. You follow checklists, afraid to step off of the path. Loss of emotion is worse than exhaustion. Joy, anger, surprise, all your feelings get dulled. Inside, only one thing: just hold on. They ask, "How are you?" You say, "I'm fine." Knowing that you don't even distinguish weekdays and weekends anymore, life feels like endless deja vu of fatigue. Sometimes even sports stop helping. Your body moves, but your soul freezes. Outside, activity; inside, stillness bordering on anxiety. And even if loved ones are around, their support is hard to feel, because it's not just about having someone there, it's about letting yourself accept their care. Many men believe if you're tired, you're just not working hard enough. The truth is, perfectionism doesn't save you, it just brings burnout faster. You scroll through work chats thinking, if tomorrow it all disappeared, would I feel better? Or would only this emptiness remain? You start to resent those who rest, secretly wishing you could be weak for once. Just once, not to explain or justify yourself. When your partner asks to talk, all you want is the quiet, no heavy topics, just to be present, not involved. Someone will say, just set a new goal, dream bigger. But if you haven't wanted anything for a while, even dreams stop working. The biggest symptom of burnout: living someone else's life, waking up, working, eating, autopilot, and it's as if you don't belong. Increasingly, you respond not with words, but with silence. To congrats, a forced thanks, to criticism, detachment, anything to save your last bit of energy. You try to remember the last time you felt proud of yourself and nothing comes. It's like even your successes bring no pleasure. You no longer write wish lists, not even at New Year. Trust in the future fades when all you feel inside is this effort just to keep afloat. And by evening, that feeling again, another wasted day. Even if tasks are done, there's no sense of victory, no internal yes. A man on the edge of burnout doesn't cry. He just becomes less and less visible, to himself first of all. And suddenly you wonder, maybe the solution isn't searching for new meaning, but just letting yourself be tired, like this, right here. Outwardly, things are fine job, family, apartment. Inside, everything is collapsing and no one notices, because no one looks inside. The scariest thing is losing respect for yourself. Burnout turns small failures into massive defeats in your own eyes. You're afraid to ask for help. It feels like if you admit weakness, everyone will leave, even though that's not true. You look for psychologists' advice, buy books, watch videos. But none of it works unless you acknowledge your own fatigue first. Sooner or later, you start avoiding new tasks. What once sparked joy now just brings anxiety and drains your remaining reserves. It's easiest to hide burnout at work. Exhaustion is masked with a smile or a joke, because admitting it is scarier than any mask. You feel that even rest doesn't recharge you anymore. No matter how much you sleep, you wake up just as empty. Once, even a short vacation revived you. Now, even a week away doesn't refill your inner batteries. Burnout often starts small. Constant rushing, trying to control everything, never being able to relax for real. After work, you don't dream. You just want to numb out. With shows, endless scrolling, routine. Anything not to be left alone with your thoughts. At some point, even the simple question, "How are you?" becomes too much. All you really want is for nobody to ask. Burnout isn't a single event, it's a process, darkening the background of your everyday victories and little failures. Others seem to have it easier, able to show vulnerability. You have no idea how to cross that boundary and open up yourself. Every day you try to remember, who was I before this exhaustion? Who was I before I substituted living with ticking off plans? Sometimes you stop fighting your feelings and just stare out the window. Maybe not rushing, maybe accepting your inner stillness is what matters. The most important thing, putting off self-care is riskier than making a mistake or disappointing someone else. Male psychology teaches us to hold on, but sometimes salvation is in honesty, not in one more achievement or record. Start with the simplest thing. Ask yourself the tough question. How long has it been since you told anyone you're tired? When did you last ask yourself, do I want to live like this? Allowing yourself weakness isn't a loss. It's the first step to true strength. Burnout doesn't destroy. You can make it a point of restart. One day you realize that no one will bring you back to life but you. The first step is admitting exhaustion and stopping fighting it alone. You don't have to hold it all together. Sometimes saving yourself means learning to trust loved ones, friends, and yourself. A new phase begins with accepting simple things. Letting yourself rest, letting yourself say no, letting yourself choose your own way. Don't wait for someone else to allow you to be alive and tired. Self-care starts with your voice, even if it's trembling. The strongest men know not only how to endure, but how to put down the weight. To free yourself means finding space for life again. Your real strength isn't just in holding on, but in knowing when to put a period and start a new chapter.